All right, welcome to the Sundays with Steve show. And in today's episode, it's very special to me. It's not the CEO of the company, it's not a president of the company, but it's more important to me because it hits the home. Because we have our son visiting from California,
Thanks.
Vadim Alive.
Nice.
Welcome home.
Good to be here.
So, as some people know, some may not, Vadim now lives in California, works at Google as a software engineer. Right, correct?
Right, yeah, correct. All
Right.
good.
So, and I want to include you in my show. Thank you for joining.
Thank you for having me.
And I'm hoping you, as a younger generation person who is at the beginning of your career and the beginning stages, it's almost a year that you work at Google at this point. So maybe you could provide some tips and tricks and maybe some advice to a younger generation also who wants to go your path, follow the same path, and tell us a little bit about what you do. So this first question, as I mentioned just now, you're just starting. It's the first year for you to be working full time.
Right.
You went a couple of times, and you were doing summer internship at Google, and that leads you to that job. And what is the most surprised, well, for you, things to do or things to experience or things to learn by working full time as a software engineer than what you thought it would be when you were still in college?
Nice. It's kind of in middle school they say they're not going to take this in high school. In high school they say you're not going to get away with this in the college, and then kind of like that. It's not it's not what I expected really. The culture is very nice. I think particularly at Google, they're very kind and supportive, and they want a good work culture. So working together as a team is a big emphasis. This is what surprised me, right? It was a really friendly environment. I don't know, I've heard things that are not so great in other environments, but in particular, at least for Google, the teams that I've been on have been very friendly, very supportive, and they want you to grow. They want personal growth and exploration. It's not so rigid as the 9 to 5. Like I have to go sit at the table, I have to be there at this time. I'm going to be punished if I'm not there. It's more relaxed, and it encourages me to actually work more and provide effort because I feel supported in this community.
See, so Google did the one thing right for sure, that to provide the experience and the environment that is a friendly, supportive. We visited your office, what, a couple of times at least? Between the ping pong tables and the hockey table
It's
and the
nice.
lunch rooms, everything is amazing. That's nice.
Sounds good.
It's great that the company is actually giving people a relaxed atmosphere where you could be more productive because you're not stressing over the little things.
Yeah.
Awesome. So everybody's talking about, AI is the one thing, and I'm doing this show now. I'm trying to learn about AI, and I'm sure it's affected your company in a big way.
A little bit.
How did it change the way you do your work? Like so, and also the second part of this question: which platform do you personally use more? I like ChatGPT. Like some people know they like Claude, maybe something else. What is your experience in this?
I feel like I can't say anything other than Gemini, can I? No, yeah, AI completely obviously changed how I work. Before I would ask all my questions to my manager, now I ask all my questions to first Gemini to see what does this system do? What is this component doing? How it all works together? All these, especially basic questions, I can ask straight up to Gemini now. I don't have to bother my boss. And I mean bother, but with these smaller questions that didn't take up their time, it makes things a lot more convenient. Of course, it's not fully accurate all the time, but for the most part, it's very good. It has completely changed my work, right? Because it's really turning into, instead of coding and thinking of my own, like asking, hey, what do you think, Gemini? Gemini gives you a solution, and maybe I'll ask it, I'll go by it a few times, say, like, this doesn't sound right. Are you sure about this? Because you can't fully trust it. Not fully trust it. You have to challenge it a little bit. And oftentimes it'll say, like, yeah, good point. Let's go back on that and revise that. But it's turned a lot more into managing and iterating and calling out, basically, when you think something smells fishy, than just, I'm going to make my own code from the beginning. Because it's not, you can't get by with that, I feel like, anymore. It's not fast enough. It's not effective enough. Because everyone else is using AI too. And it really helps for a lot of things. It works very well. Testing, things that are cookie cutter, that are stuff like that. It makes it much faster development. In terms of my favorite software, for personal projects, I really like Claude. Claude has been very cool. I tried Codex, but I really like Claude. Gemini, of course, is great. I use Gemini internally for my own projects. That's also Google does, is invested a lot into having its own AI, and now we're incorporating that into our internal systems. So I think that was a good step on their part, especially long term looking. But Gemini has been very great too.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. That's very cool. Somebody in college today, right? So you've been to college, obviously graduated Queens College with honors. Then you went to do a couple of internships, then you got a full-time job. So somebody who already walked that path and somebody is looking up to say, you know what, I'm 18 now, I'm in college. I want to see what is this 22 something, 23, as I
Yeah,
converted was
recently.
there, 20 something year old.
Yeah.
Already, he's already where I want to be, right? So what advice could you give to somebody who wants to be a software engineer, still in college and hoping to get a job at Google, at Meta, I don't know, any of these big companies? What would be your advice in addition to obviously, trying to get a good grades and
Right.
proper, mindset? What would be the right thing for them to do at this point?
Right. There's a proper course of things. Yeah. First thing is, I would say feel gratitude for where you are right now, because even when you go to Google, you're still like, okay, now I have to get a promotion. It's always the next thing. So please enjoy where you are right now and feel gratitude for that. I think that's super important and requires reminding. In general, other than getting good grades, focusing in class, I think just doing your personal projects, the things that are actually interesting to you, is very important. That's how I became very solid in Java. That's how I got my first internship, because I was very solid in Java and logical principles. I didn't need to know so many different technical things, because I was really solid in one thing, and the basic logical thinking. Get solid in that one thing and do things that are interesting. I think a lot of people were going into computer science, especially in my era. I'm class of 2025. In my generation, I guess my cohort, a lot of people in computer science were just there because we saw that you can make a lot of money and not work so hard and work remotely and all these wonderful things. And the market became super saturated, and everyone got into computer science, and people were failing and having a horrible time. And they were telling me like, these teachers are horrible, and I personally really like teachers. So they just weren't into computer science. I don't think that was their life's mission to do software engineering, but they went into it because it was profitable. And now it's not the same thing at all, even compared to my year of growing. Even now, more so with AI. Please consider if you actually want to do this. That's my.
That's excellent. That's excellent advice. Like somebody was saying, if you want to go somewhere, actually Vitaly Houston, remember that term? He was saying, if whatever area you want to go into, just go do internship there first. See if you actually like it. That's a great advice. Not for the love of money, but for the love of the process, and specifically to be in it, because it's not an easy thing to do. Like it requires a lot of attention. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, when you do well in whatever you're doing, you find your own creative spin on things, you can make money. You don't have to worry about that in the beginning of your life when you're 18, 19.
Yeah.
It's not like you have your whole life ahead of you to work for the rest of your life. Don't worry, don't rush into work.
Good advice.
Yeah,
good advice from the young blood.
I mean, yeah, we do. Like I can see, like I can try this thing over here on the side. It's not affecting me negatively. In fact, my managers are encouraging me, explore different things. That's what I keep getting from managers' advice. But yes, and so please do personal projects, because that's also what helped me realize that I want to do this. And two, find friends who want to learn and grow too, because doing it together is so much more meaningful.
Yeah.
You can at least in college, I think you can be alone and go far. But there's only so far you can go. Without my friends, I don't know if the bouncing ideas back and forth, the working together, the shared pain of staying up well into the night, that kind of stuff makes it enjoyable. So also,
great advice, and also helps with networking. The more, not only friends, but it's only through friends you could increase your network, which helps a lot also. Looking ahead in 5 years, like right now, before it used to be like my time, obviously, a little bit different. They're like, oh, in 5 years time, in 10 years time, we have this goal, we have this plan, we have this whatever idea that needs to be, fulfilled. It's a little bit harder now because with the AI, technology just goes so rapid, so fast, and everything goes out of proportion just in no time. But what would be most exciting thing to learn for you personally to work on? Would you want to be 5 years from now still continue doing, whatever it is you're doing now in Google, the the engineering work, the computer science engineer, or would you want to do something else?
Right. Like you said, it's not possible to guess at this point,
Yeah.
considering how fast it's growing. There are, of course, there are hardware limitations now. We don't have enough GPUs and all these things to keep up with the growth that we are trying to reach. But we're obviously still going to try to keep growing in the sense everyone, this is the new craze. For me personally, if I can work on something meaningful that I feel is meaningful that helps people, that's more gives me fulfillment. Some of my internships were great. I felt like the work was actually fun and I was helping people with what I was doing. But other internships, I just didn't feel like it was necessary work for the company, but I didn't feel personally invigorated and it didn't feel like I was helping anyone really at all. It was kind of maintenance and cleanup. And so if the work is meaningful, I think that's where I want to go. If I can work with people, I notice it's a lot more meaningful as well, rather than just siloed in my own head and doing whatever I'm doing. Right, I'm very excited to see what will happen in 5 years. Maybe I'll have some facial hair, who knows?
You'll get there.
But it's, yeah, I'm sure, I'm hoping VR maybe can be taking some new advancements in medicine through all this AI stuff. So
Perfect.
whatever's meaningful.
Perfect. That's a great answer. Meaningful, it has to have meaning. Otherwise, what's the point? As a bonus question for today, as a father of such a nice young man who is on his right, you're on your path to become even more independent. You're working on yourself, and I'm very proud of you. A question to you, like not out of blue, I hope, but what was the one thing that growing up that I taught you that helped you even now, maybe helps you to say like, oh, my father wouldn't approve of this, or my father, thanks for that advice. What would be one thing that maybe helped you in your career?
There's so many things. How can I choose? I just
Just
don't
one.
think,
There's one
I don't
thing.
think I can. Yeah, one thing. But definitely discipline, getting the work done, putting in the reps, and getting. So if there's a task that has to be done, it has to be done. We have a responsibility. People rely on us. Our word is important. These kind of concepts that you taught me obviously probably resonates with you.
Yeah, of course.
This is important. Our relationships with people, the sort of integrity that we have. I guess it all relates to integrity. Because people rely on you, and there's more than just me in this world. And to put in the work and to work with each other in tandem towards this general shared goal, I think that in particular helped me a lot. But of course, interacting with people, making people feel special, considering not just me in the world, basically selflessness.
Perfect. Perfect. I'm glad you took it. Well, thank you so much for joining the
Thank you
show.
for having
We're at
me.
the end of the show at this point. Great advice. I hope soon enough I'll give you an additional, maybe in 10 or 20 episodes of the show. Maybe we'll interview you again and to see where your career will take you in the next steps.
Sure.
Thank you for
Amazing.
joining.
Excited. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Man,
Thank you.
cheers.